Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammad Abrar and I'm a student of Air University doing mechatronics engineering from there. Today I had designed a project of DLD course. The project is line follower, in which our robot is following a line, black line, and turning right and left and going straight according to that. So our sir asked us to make a line follower which follows lines which take right turn, left turn. But if there's a path in which right and left and straight is coming all together, then our board should stop there. So this is our logic, and we have to use four sensors, at least four sensors. So this was something that big task for us. Now we so first of all our step was to design a circuits which gives us output according to our demands. So infrareds give us one or zeros in form of binary ones and zeros, and we have to convert this one and zeros to operate our left and right motors using drivers controllers, the motor driver controller. Now first of all we know there are four sensors, it means four inputs and two outputs, motor left and motor right. So this we know that for four inputs we have 16 possible combinations that can come. So but we are concerned about those on which our motor will rotate and stops. So first of all, if there is no black line, then obviously the left and right motor will stop, will not rotate at any cost, whether we are giving power or not. But if our back sensor is on the line and not other sensor is on the line, then we are also getting no rotations at the output. If our center is on the line and no other sensors on the line, then we also getting no output at all. But if our center and the back both are on the line, so it's both on the line, this means that our board is on a straight line and our both motors will rotate simultaneously at the same speeds, and our motor will move toward a straight line. The motor will rotate until the straight line finishes, that black straight line finishes. Now if we got a right, if our right sensor senses something, if black line, then our left motor will rotate. Why? Because we have a three wheel changes in that. To turn right we have to rotate left motor, and to turn left we have to rotate right motor alternatively. So the left motor always turns off whenever it detects right. Now similarly in the case of left, whenever the left right detected, our right motor will turn on. So now there are cases in which we get T, mean that our left, we also getting left line, we also getting right side, and we also getting a straight line. In that case our both motor will not rotate at any cost at all. And if we are getting plus, back is also on the line, center is also on the line, and the left is also detecting something, right is also detecting something, then there will be a no rotation at all. And this can be seen from these last four conditions. So these last four conditions. So this is our logic circuit, and this is how we have to implement our whole circuit according to it. After designing truth table, what is our steps? After designing truth table, we have to design an optimized circuit for this output, for this truth table. And we know that for the optimization, the best method is K mapping. In K mapping we get the precise optimization, we get the that output, we get that circuit which is the most optimized, economical, and the best for the solution we have. So after for left motor we inserted left output, and for right motor we inserted right motor, and we get outputs like we to use only three gates, one and four gates, two AND gates, one OR gate, and a one NOT gate. So similarly in the case of right motor, so from this we conclude that we have an optimized method in which the output inputs are coming from infrared, and output was going to the motor drivers. Before moving to the simulations, before we test our simulations, now let's have a brief overviews about the components we are using. There's one more thing, that in simulations the thing seems too much simple, that in this simulation process you can see that there are only the infrared structures and only the gates and only the motors. But in practical we have to use voltage regulator to provide 5 volt. For 5 volt, we have to use 7805. For to provide 12 volt, we have to use 7812. And so similarly, we have to use capacitors according to the voltage regulators in order to they don't get burned, or for protection, or for filters as well. And for motor driver L298N, in this we have to use resistors. So sometimes the right motor and left motor, there is a delay between them. To overcome that delay, we use resistors and stuff like that, or to control their speeds. So first of all, let's talk about infrared structures, infrared sensors. What is infrared sensors? Infrared sensors, there is a transmitter. You can see that white transmitter and a receiver. There is a transmitter and a receiver. So what happens? Transmitter transmits infrareds, and infrared falls on their target, reflect back to the transmitter, and transmitter gives output according to that. So in our case, what is happening? In our case, we have to detect black light, and we know that the black line isn't reflective at all. It absorbs everything, it falls on it. So one infrared is powered with 5 volt, and the transmitter get nothing at transmitter, then it gives output according to that, and this output will be given on the our combination circuit in order to get motor left and motor right rotating. So first of all, and after infrared brief structures, we know that OR gate and NOT. We know that after NOT gate is just a complement. If we are giving 0, then it gives us 1. And for AND gate, if we are giving 0 1 0 0, if any of the input is 0, then we will get 0 at output. If we have, in order to get 1 at output, we have to give both of ones at both of input 1. And OR gate, if any of the input is high, we get high output. So this is a brief introduction about the gates. Now moving towards the motor driver. Motor driver, in which we have to operate at, we have to give 12 volt ground and a 5 volt, and it has 4 output 1 2. This to rotate one motor at outer, but output 1 and 2 will decide that whether the motor will move in clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. For similar for the motor right, we have 3 and 4. We have 3 and 4, and the motor will move in clockwise or anti-clockwise, will be decided by the output 3 and 4's configuration. Now we have to give our inputs at the input terminals here. So this is our motor driver, and now we are going to check our simulations, our logic. That's what Bismillah. Now this is on. Our simulation has started, but as we know, there's no line. We can see that 0 0 0 0 0. So we have getting no output. So both motors are at rest. Now we give only one. Now we have back sensors on the line, but there's also no rotation at all, because we back sensors is not the one who's going to decide that motor left or motor right will move. Now our center is also at 1. So now you can see that the both motors start rotating. Now it means that our board is on the straight line now. So for a straight line, our motor will be follow the line unless the line finishes. Now we apply. Now we can see that our motors are rotating. So now we apply left. Now our is going straight, and then suddenly it's detected that there's a left line. For a left line, our left motor will stop. We can see that our left motor is decreasing and our right motor is rotating. So our due to the right motor rotation, our board will turn left. So in case of right, now after detecting left, now it's detecting a right one, and after detecting right one, we can see that our right motor will stop and our left motor will start rotating. So you can see that our left motor start rotating, its current is increasing, and its right motor is decreasing. So there's a little bit of delay, but this delay can be overcome by using resistors, and in practical we have to overcome this by using resistors, capacitors, and our filter signals come to it. And also our laptops are not that good, that is Proteus will run so smoothly as it should be. So from here you can see that when our infrared right is on, detecting right, our left motor is rotating and our motor will then rotate. Now let's suppose we all got ones, that our it's also detecting right, left lines, detecting front and back. Now what would happen? Now both of our motors stop. Now you can see that this is decreasing and our both motors have been stopped, our robot stopped. So what if back sensor is out of league? Now back sensor doesn't come, so now it also stopped. So from this we have our truth table verified and our circuit is working properly, and this is the most optimized circuit we have used. So this is for the for simulations. Now in later video I will discuss what is the PCB, how we design it, and PCBs and how our changes work and how our circuit is working, and I will also show you a video of our working robot. Thank you for the simulations. Now I'm moving toward the now I will move towards the hardware part. Now after the simulations have been performed on the PCS, we are on Proteus, and we have confirmed that our circuits will work properly. Now it's steps to design a PCB. For PCB, we know that we have to remove all the inputs and outputs. On inputs we have to use connectors, and on outputs we also have to connectors. So this is how a circuit will look after removing all the circuits, and we have replace them with the PCB's slots. Now we have also connected our serial connectors in order to get extra connections with the for the circuits. Now after that we have these circuits. We have to use only 1, 2, 3 and 4 jumper wires, and these jumper wires comes below the PCB, and we cannot be seen from there. So this is quite complicated. So that this is our AND or NOT gate, and then we have a serial connectors with it. Serial connections is to there if we have to use any others, if we want to detect the if we want to test them, if we want to detect the voltages and currents, stuff like that between them. We don't have to directly apply terminals, voltmeter or ammeter, DMM terminals on the ICs. We have to just do it at these serial connectors, and also we have to use IC connectors before mounting them on the PCB board, because if it directly solder the ICs terminals, then there's a quite possibilities in which that our ICs will burn and harmful. So this is how our PCB look like, and after that brainstorming we have to reduce this number of connection lines to 4, and we were allowed to use 15 connection wires. Now we are most probably reduced to the most optimized PCB. Now the next step is to print that stuff on the on a A4 on the paper, on a sticker paper. So a normal A4 paper can work, but that is not good at all. So first we printed that, not a simple printing using a toner, but also a laser printing whose toner can easily transmit to the PCB board. First of all, we have printed that on the sticker paper, and after that, after coming on the sticker papers, we use after sticker papers we have applied that sticker paper on this by iron, and then we dipped it in into the chemical of FeCl3, and for 60 to 70 minutes most probably, and or maybe 2 hours for that, and after that we remove the sticker paper from this board, and we get this design printed on that. During this we have tested our circuit on breadboard as well. So from this breadboard was quite complicated. We designed all the breadboard, and at we have to use a lots of wires, connecting wires, and it was quite complicated. We have used batteries and that stuff like that, and after that we see that practically our circuit also working. So after that we taking the logic on the breadboard. We have made our PCB. In PCB we printed on the sticker paper and then applied that sticker paper on the PCB board, copper board, and then press it for the 20 to 30 minutes. So after that we dipped it in, after that the toner has been shifted to the board, and the board look like that. You can see that how cleanly this has been done. So this we can be that our connectors and everything is working properly. If we have something missing, we can fill it with chemical markers. Okay, after that, now after dipping that, we have to convert, we have to remove the all other copper on the board, and have to find only that copper which is our path has been working on. So for that purpose, we dip our whole our PCB board after printing toner, after shifting toner of sticker paper on the board. We dip that uh, PCB board in the FeCl3 solution for 3 to 4 hours, for 3 hours probably, and after that the copper on the edges, the copper other than the path has been removed, and we get that etched circuit. Now it is ready to be drilled, and the component is placed on it, and it will be a solder. Now after etching, what was our second step? What was our step after that? Our first step after that, to drill that. We have a small drill machine of zero point 0.8 bit 1 millimeter bit. So we use, and we drill all the connectors according to this. You can see that I am drilling this, and this has been drilled properly. And this is at workshop we have drilled the stuffs. So you can see that the drill how the drill has been done. So after drilling, we have placed all the components to check whether our components has been placed properly or not, all the drill has been done properly or not. So this is the IC connectors, and the connectors, simple connectors, steel connectors has been placed on it, and after that first step was to solder them. So this was the most difficult step, you can say, that to solder them, because we haven't any experience of soldering the things. We have soldered the things, this will become quite dirty, but after that we have to after that we desolder some joints and solder them again, and remove all the stuff like that. So after PCB has been done and everything has been done, we have performed everything on it. Now what is our next step? What was our next step is to place all the component on the chassis. This is how a chassis looks. So here's the left motor and right motor has been placed here, and this is the front wheel, and the right and left wheel will come here, and the final product will look like, our final products look like this. You can see that our final product, everything has been mounted on it. Now what was the problems we had faced? Number one problem was of battery, because normal batteries got discharged after after 5 to 10 minutes, and we are getting so much trouble in that. And also we after that we also have a problem that how we have to minimize the speed of left and right motor, and how to make them catch up each other's speeds. One is moving faster and other is moving with less speed. This is what the biggest task we had faced in that. So for regulators and capacitors, that was not a big deal at all. We have overcome that easily. But for the battery and the tires, for the battery, so we had make several researches, and we come into point that lithium battery is one of the best batteries for this purposes. So we have joined 4 batteries of 3.5 volt VDJ, because we have to have a minimum 9 volt to run this whole circuit. So we got 4 batteries. Lupo battery, who has 1200 mAh capacities to store things, and this was for 30 to 35 minutes. That was our problem solution. But that's become little bit expensive. It cost us at least 1500 rupees. So this was quite expensive for us, but this was the best solution to overcome that thing. And this makes this support working properly good, and also giving us 30 to 35 minutes timing, which is quite impressive. And after that we got a problem in dilation. We can see that in simulation we also got a problem in dilation between left and right motor. The left motor is working faster, and right is less, or sometimes right move faster and the left is slow. To overcome that, we place some resistors. To overcome that, we place some resistors in the resistors at the output of the driver, and place them with the tire. This now I'm going to show how we have placed all the sensors, all the stuff on the things. First of all, we place the breadboard. First of all, we place the PCB board on the chassis by double tape, and after that we on the one side of the PCB I have placed some batteries on that there, and our driver is at the end of the chassis, and our left light and a right motor sensor, right motor sensor, and a center sensor is at the front, and a back at the near the driver has been placed. So this is how our engineering works, and this is the some connections device for the batteries, and the connection between the connectors and other things. So this is how our project, this was a whole project. Now I will give you a brief now I'm gonna give you a brief things about that, brief introduction about the things we have used. So for that I should work our proposal. These are the things. I have a line follower chassis kit. We have used a line follower chassis kit. IR modules which give a which go and detect that with the sensor on the black that the body is on the black light or not. L298 motor driver, which will decide which motor will rotate according to the input. Cell holders, and IC7408. This is AND gate IC, and this is AND gate IC. 7404 is NOT gate IC. 7432 is OR gate IC. Then we have used LEDs, capacitors, resistance, and jumper wires as well. Our generator was 790, but this was except then the batteries. After batteries, our budget was 3100 and stuff like that. So it was a quite great experience for us. So we learned soldering, making PCBs. It was quite exciting. We got problems. We comes to know that how to debug the things, how to do a continuously test whether any of the solders has been touching each other short or not. We have done everything. So after performing everything, alhamdulillah, our board was working properly. I'm going to how it's running. So it was working, and you can see that it's following the line properly, and that's and so alhamdulillah, we have successfully completed our project with quite difficulties, because there are something that we have never faced before. How to debug a solder things, how to desolder, how to solders, how to use voltage regulators. This was a quite amazing journey for us, and we have learned a lot of things in this. So it was a great pleasure doing this thing, and I'm very thankful to Umar Farooq for giving us this opportunity to such exposures. And we have alhamdulillah come to know how to resolve an error, how to make a project. He was quite involved in all this stuff, as well as program. Thank you very much. That's for my video. Take care, and Allah Hafiz.